Hey team. Hey Ryan. Hey guys. So this is an idea, I can't remember who I was talking to about, but we haven't as a team decided on whether or not we're going to do PC or not, or PC and Mac. And as you guys know, lots of community feedback about doing like a PC and Mac version. And I've kind of individually talked to a lot of you guys about the costs, like what's cool about it, what's not so cool about it. But we haven't had a meeting about it as a team about doing a PC and Mac version, right? So we had this kind of cool idea that because we're so busy with everything else we're doing, why don't we just do the meeting and also record it and just like give like the community a window into how we make decisions and like how we do make really poor decisions and how we make really good decisions. And it's just like, I don't think it's kind of cool. It's about Kickstarter. It's like opening up the doors of your studio. This is what we're going to do. I mean, this is the format. I really want to talk about a bunch of different things. I've got some ideas about what we can talk about, and we'll just see how it rolls. I think the first thing I want to talk about is it's just if we were going to do a PC version, I think we're all committed to the idea that it wouldn't be just a straight up port, right? I mean, we're on Unity. It's easy to, I mean, the game is running on PC already, right? But we've been designing the game for iOS up until now. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on what we need to do to make it a really solid experience on PC and Mac?
Well, let's be honest. I always consider like doing PC version since the beginning, but we got at some point that we like due to the costs of the production to like iOS and PC, like we kind of like decide to focus on iOS to cut the costs.
Right. I think Ezra wasn't there, I think Bernice wasn't there, Billy wasn't there, but the four of us were at GDC and we had that critical conversation, right? We can't do the same iOS game on PC and expect it to be as good, right? We have to do something different. We have to focus our team and our budget and our resources, right?
I actually thought gamers would feel robbed if we just did a straight port, because it's so, it's built for touch.
I mean, I've always thought we should do PC version also. Like, it's been in the back of my mind kind of, and it's just the whole thing is, if we do a PC version, we really have to treat it as its own game. I mean, it'll be same game. We're not going to change the game, but just the experience of playing it on the PC is going to be unique to PC. Well, PC and Mac. There'll be two different unique experiences.
I really think if we decide to do a PC version, I think there's a lot of things we should investigate. There's a lot of really interesting input, things that we don't have access to. We're just on mobile devices. There's interesting things we can experiment with voice. Then there's also just the fact that the PC is essentially limitless in terms of the amount of power that we have at our disposal. So there's a lot of really other interesting things that I know we've talked about that we really would like to do, but we can't do if we stay on the tablet devices only, just because of resources.
So I know like on PC we'll have maybe more resources in terms of bandwidth, in terms of like graphical prowess, right? But just how far can we take the game on PC? Like, I don't think we can promise like it's going to be MGS4 style like 3D environments, because we're doing some fakery, with the way that we're doing cinematics, so it can work on the phone, right? And I don't think we're going to rebuild all of these cinematics with all full 3D environments, even though you could do it on PC, right? So like, how much better is it going to look on PC?
If we kind of just keep all our source material really high res, we can kind of, PC version high res textures like cinematic backgrounds, character models, stuff like that. There are ways we could do graphical improvements on PC. We just have to kind of, with the assets we're making now, we have to kind of plan for it though, and make like the high quality version rather than immediately targeting the phone device.
That's one thing that we did. That's one thing we did with Logan, right? Initially we were building to some one resolution, and it was the iPad 2 resolution, right? And then we came back, and so they created all of their assets in super high res because we were going to do the Retina on the new iPad. So it's kind of the similar idea, right? We just keep all the assets as the highest quality possible, and then we save those for, we kind of dial them down to get the performance we need on iOS, and then for the PC and Mac we just use more of the higher res stuff. Okay.
But in terms of some of the ambient things that are interesting, like, for example, I could picture some much more interesting hacking scenarios that would lend themselves to mouse and keyboard that may not work on the PC, on the iPhone so well as some of the ambient types of AI behaviors that don't necessarily affect gameplay, but really drive home a really realistic, interesting experience. Some of these things can be a little bit heavy from a technical standpoint. So some interesting things there to kind of just beef up the immersion.
Yeah, so I really like the idea of having the multiple cameras and multiple viewports, and it kind of, it lends itself. People naturally multitask on computers. They have all kinds of windows open. They're browsing the web, checking Twitter. I'm not sure if it'd be good or bad to change too many of the puzzles that we're doing. Like that starts to get into a lot of additional work if we're completely changing the level designs and puzzles just for the PC version. So it makes me think that it should be more about the, kind of the interface and the experience of using a computer to play the game.
We have talked about like hacking mini games, right? And like for iOS, that is really touch based. So we might need to just think about those and how they work on PC, right? So it's more mouse and keyboard-esque, right?
With the mouse and keyboard topic, another thing is, Macs, like they might not always have the scroll wheel. It might just be the one button. We could have modifiers. Another cool thing is like setting up hotkeys. This is just like a random thing. Like say you place some distraction objects in the environment and you actually assign them to function keys. So you can you kind of have your F1 to F6 or whatever, and then you can trigger them off like.
Thinking about what the community is going to ask for, since I've been, very deep in the forums and in the Kickstarter area, and just like seeing what people are asking questions about. I mean, as you mentioned, Macs are mainly, you don't have a right click generally unless you program it, your Mac to do that. Windows 8's coming out this fall, so is there going to be any touch, for Windows 8 tablets as well?
Yeah.
I mean, are you guys thinking of having the game modified so it works even though it's a PC version, you're still going to have touch with Windows 8 tablets too. Does that throw a wrench into things as well? I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, because that could be cool. If we have a way to detect touch and we say we build on input features for PC Mac, standard keyboard mouse, but then we keep say we keep all the touch interface stuff that we've done and. I mean, I guess that's more planning, but I think that could be cool, because it's like tablets are becoming more and more, it's like a computer in your hands, so that could be a good option.
You and I have talked about it before, like the multitasking thing, right? We have multi-windows. So when you load up Republic on PC and Mac, it's not going to be full screen like it is like an iPad, right? Like you can get a window into that surveillance camera, but you might have other surveillance cameras open, and then like a dialog box with Hope, and maybe like the map view. And the world view and like another window, it's like just bouncing back in between there. I mean, I think that's a different experience, right? I mean, it's going to require like play testing, and I mean, I think we should do it, right? It's going to be work.
It's kind of the same discussion we had originally when we kind of decided on going to a fixed platform for our initial launch, just because, right? Like as Paula mentioned in the beginning, the cost of test and iteration and fixing platform-specific bugs really drives up the dev time. And the flip side of it is, if things don't work after you launch, then you have a lot of difficulty after the fact supporting people. So
my biggest question is, before we commit to the community, before we say yes, what are our plans to really explore, what the cost is, so when are we able to deliver the experience that's unique to PC?
Right. So assuming we do a lot of the stuff that Ezra was talking about, the stuff you guys are getting excited about, I mean, we haven't done the full breakdown of all the features. But what are we looking at? I mean, a month of development time, 3 months, 5 months?
I think we're looking at weeks of at least a week of just thinking through all the features, but personally with the stuff we've kind of rattled off already. I don't know, design is quite long.
My gut reaction was, I mean, when you said 1 month, 3 months, 5 months, my gut reaction is like 3 months, but
I was thinking 3.
I'm kind of not sure. And this, yeah, we should probably stay on this topic. I was going to say, like,
say whatever you want, Ezra.
When you were talking about the Windows thing, it's like, I mean, when we think of playing the game on PC, how do you see it in your mind? Are you playing it full screen, or is it running in a window on your second monitor? Because it's kind of with the way the game is with the phone, where it's like you're talking to an AI character. A lot of times you're on your computer, you're chatting to people, and that's like, it's kind of dedicated to this other monitor that is stuff like that. That's not, you might have 2 things going basically. So it makes me wonder if we could possibly treat the game in that way, where it does run in a window, and it's kind of like it's not like you're running a game. It's like you're running this application that is Hope has contacted you through, and
Like you can maximize and minimize the different windows.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That'd be really awesome.
It's sort of like if you were a security guard sitting in a room with the terminal in front of you, right? Like you may be looking over at something else and not paying attention to everything that's going on.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to that experience of you're actually engaged with her either through a phone call or through like a specific hack you've done.
Yeah.
I was thinking it'd probably be something, because we are, like, originally we wanted Hope to call us on a cell phone, like get us a phone call. And now that we're going to do PC, I think it'd probably be messaging service of some sort.
Facebook friends.
Facebook friends,
Oh,
yeah.
that's great. You become Facebook friends with Hope. But I mean, but jokes aside, like I remember somebody telling me a couple months ago that their teenage daughter has like a new boyfriend, and they have like video Skype up on their on a window on their computer at all times. Like it's constantly streaming back and forth. Like while they're doing homework, they're not even talking to one another, but it's just constantly there. I think that'd be kind of cool if you had, not that Hope is your girlfriend, right? But that there's like she can be coming in and out of the window. She's like going about her life. I mean that's content explosion, right? But
yeah, I mean that kind of gets into, because like on the mobile device, it's like you're picking up and playing it whenever, and you might not necessarily play for a long amount of time. It might be, you might just do like a 10-minute mission and call it quits for then. So on PC, it could be really cool to kind of get that life cycle routine going, where it's it's based on time of day. Like Hope has activities she's doing. Like that could be really cool.
Yeah, totally Animal Crossing it. For me, story-wise, I want to make sure that we record different scenes, like slightly alterated and maybe some unique scenes based on the idea that you're communicating her through a PC and not a phone. And then just, different dialogue, some Easter eggs in there, so it hopefully entices people to play it on iOS, but also play it on PC.
Most people leave their computers on more than they leave their phone on, because you're worried about battery. And it'd be kind of cool if we left the game running and playing, and maybe while Hope's sleeping and it's real time or whatever, while Hope's sleeping, you have a chance to explore the facility or the world more without her help. And depending on security schedules or alarms or things like that, you get to see things that you will never see with Hope. Like it's just extra Easter eggs, unlockables, or just I don't know, anything really.
So honestly, I think the thing that's going to determine the amount of scope is like we all are committed that we want to do something different on PC and Mac version. I think it's going to probably scale depending on how well we do with Kickstarter, how well we do with iOS version, and that'll allow us to blow. Like if iOS version blows out, like I don't know if there's any reason why we wouldn't add as many features as we possibly can, right, to make this thing really different and really like the ultimate version. To like thank people for helping us with Kickstarter, right? Because I don't think we would hit our goal if we don't get the support from the PC and Mac community and we make them a great game, and I think we owe it to them. I mean, I'm assuming we've all made the decision. I think everybody seems excited about PC and Mac, so I don't know if there's really any. I mean, does anybody not want to do this? But yeah, so we're all pretty hardcore, I think, PC gamers, and we would want to do this game right. And it sounds like we're all really excited about the idea and want to do this on PC and Mac. Like, unless anybody is Paulo, it looks like you don't want to do it. Okay, should we do a vote?
Dreamcast.
What's that?
Yeah, 99.4.
N-Gage,
Yeah.
Definitely.
32X,
You don't have to say it. It's assumed.
Wonder Swan, Gizmondo,
Neo Geo.
Neo Geo. All right.
Still making games for Neo Geo.
They are.
Probably.
All right, that's it. It's a wrap.